guys. Let me adjust this lighting. This room is dark. Okay, good. Not too bright. Hello. Go ahead and comment when you connect in so I can know you guys are here. Try to give you guys a little bit of a heads up. I know this is a spur of the moment, kind of a surprise little mini training, if you want to call it that. But I had a few conversations over the weekend just with some different coaches, and it's something that I have just learned over the last 4 years, and a few different things that have been on my mind. So I wanted to get on and share with you guys. So I see a couple of you guys tuning in now, so thank you. Thank you for connecting in. I know it's totally last minute here. But what I wanted to talk about, and so I kind of put it in the description just now, that you saw, this is what I want you to watch when things get hard, or you're thinking, boy, Beachbody is creating a lot of conflict for me in my life, and it would be easier for me to just go back to the way that things were and to not do this anymore and just kind of give up. And I know that there are life experiences and things that may come up where that may, be the best solution for you. But I just want you to kind of keep a few things in mind. So here's kind of where I'm coming from. I believe that when you set a goal, like you set a goal and then you're saying, okay, this is where I'm at, this is where I want to be. Instantly, when you do so, it creates a full awareness now in your mind of where you want to be and where you. So you're in discomfort. Sorry, it put me on hold for a minute. I'm still here. But it puts you in a discomfort because you're very aware that you're not where you want to be, and that feels uncomfortable. And it's as if you're stretching now this rubber band, and there's tension because you're uncomfortable now with where you're at, and you're in a full awareness of, I want something different than what I have right now and I don't have it. And the only way to relieve the tension that creates is to either let go of the goal and release the rubber band altogether, or to move closer to your goal and thereby, release some of the tension that rubber band has created because you're so far from where you want to be. If that analogy makes sense in your mind as you're thinking about it. But so there's that you deal with anytime that you set goals, and that's not just in Beachbody, that's in life. It's just Beachbody is very focused on setting goals, and so it creates a lot of conflict in your mind because you're thinking, boy, I know I can be better with my spouse, I know I can be better as a mom, I know I can be better as a friend. And we encourage you as a Beachbody coach to think about all of those aspects in your life. And so it is obviously going to create a lot of tension in your mind of all of these things to work on and all of these things to improve on. So you're dealing with that. But also, it's important to realize that anytime that you set goals, there are obstacles in your way that are you really just things that you've created in your personality or experience or whatever beliefs that you have, that are obstacles that are keeping you from fulfillment of that goal. So, for example, you can have a goal that's saying, I want to save so much money. You're going to now face the obstacle that you have of poor money management, or of, maybe a bad habit of buying too much toilet paper. I don't know, right? It can be a wide variety of things. But there's all of these obstacles that come up that are keeping you from your goals. And the point that I want to make in this is that by being a Beachbody coach, you are on a growth plan here. That's an accelerated growth plan. And so you are going to have a lot of goals that you're setting. I mean, every single week we're talking about, what are your goals for today? What are your goals for this week? What are your goals for this month? Where do you want to be by the end of the year? So we're constantly talking about this. So you have all of this awareness of, boy, I need to make changes. I need to be doing something different. I'm not where I want to be. I'm uncomfortable. But now you're also getting hit with all of these obstacles that are coming in your way that are like, boy, to get to where I want to be, I have to deal with this, I have to overcome this, and I have to overcome this and that. And this is an accelerated growth plan, so you're constantly getting those things brought to your awareness. But my point is that, guys, like, giving up on Beachbody doesn't make those obstacles go away. You know, I had this conversation with one of my coaches, and she kind of took a little break here for a period of time, and she realized after being away from this for a while, she's like, the issue that I had with Beachbody is that I was comparing myself to other people, and so I didn't feel like it was a healthy environment for me to be doing Beachbody coaching, because I was constantly comparing myself to other people and I felt bad about myself. So I kind of stepped away from Beachbody. But in the meantime of stepping away from Beachbody, that didn't go away. Like, I didn't stop comparing myself to other people. And that's the thing, is that was the obstacle that she was facing that was keeping her from her goal. And that's for any life growth that she wants to have. I mean, that obstacle was not being created by Beachbody. It's not Beachbody's fault. That's her personal obstacle to overcome to reach any goal in her life. And if it wasn't being brought to the surface by Beachbody, it's going to be brought to the surface by whatever avenue somebody gets on to accelerate their growth. Because yes, there are many avenues that are accelerated growth plans, not just Beachbody, right? So other obstacles that I see sometimes people face, and I kind of wrote down some of them that I personally can relate to, right? One of them being, well, comparison. I have done that as well. Another one is feeling like I can never do enough. And is it Beachbody's fault that Beachbody is here 24/7? There's always more people that you could reach out to. There's always more posts that you could make. There's always posts that are being made that you're not seeing. And so it created for me, it didn't create for me, but I felt very anxious in a season of this business where I was like, I'm missing something and I can't ever do enough. So is that Beachbody's fault, or is it for me an awareness of, wow, what is the belief system I have here? And it's that I can never do enough. And so I get to face that and I get to work through that and be like, hey, what is the truth? Is the truth that I am enough? Like, who I am is enough, and I don't have to be like proving myself and earning love and all of these things, you know, the deep emotional kind of issues, right? But comparison, I see in people a feeling of a need to earn love and appreciation. You know, people feeling like they have to earn diamonds to have that self-value. A need for being the best. You know, again, that kind of comes to that comparison of other people, but I've seen coaches who are like constantly comparing themselves to the person who's earning the most Success Club points and saying, I'm not good enough, even though they're hitting Success Club, but it's like, they have to be the best. Not feeling good enough. Feeling like you're a bad mom if you're doing anything outside, like giving your kids 100% attention 24 hours a day. Self-sabotage, people have to face that obstacle. Poor time management, fear of rejection, that need of acceptance. And I bring these things up because I see those be things that people say, I don't like that about Beachbody because I am constantly feeling overwhelmed. I've got so much on my plate. And what they're saying is I'm not good with my time management. And that is the obstacle that is holding them back in their life overall, but it's brought to the surface because now they're a Beachbody coach and they're on this accelerated growth plan. But even if they weren't doing Beachbody, that didn't go away. They still have to deal with their time management if they're going to thrive and live to their highest potential. I hope I'm making sense here. But yeah, my point is the obstacle is the same obstacle no matter what growth avenue that you're on. And you know, I just wanted to point out, so, you know, I've overcome a lot of things that for myself were holding me back, that I could have blamed Beachbody for and said, I don't like this about Beachbody because I'm comparing myself to other people, or, you know, I always feel like I have to earn this rank and recognition, to be appreciated by other people, and and all these different things I could have blamed on Beachbody, instead of saying, okay, what's my limiting belief that I get to clear and see, that that's not true. But here's the thing about it, is that there have been so many growth, like accelerated growth avenues in my life that I've had that I got off of, if that makes sense. That I said, you know what, I can't handle this. This is too much coming to me, too many things being brought to my awareness that I have to work through. I can't do it. I'm done. And honestly, I think sometimes that's what happens as Beachbody coaches. People get in and they're like, boy, I didn't realize I had all of these issues. I didn't realize I had all of these self-limiting beliefs and doubts, and why am I so scared of what other people think of me? Well, goodness, like that's holding you back in your life in so many avenues, not just Beachbody, like that fear of rejection. So, you know what, you have an opportunity here to clear it and deal with it, or not. But then if you walk away from Beachbody or step back from Beachbody, that's gonna hold you back. That fear of caring what other people think of you, it's gonna hold you back from so many good relationships that you could have with people in your community, and so many things in your life, because you're thinking of that. So take advantage of this opportunity and clear those limiting beliefs that you have and things that are coming up for you, if that's making sense. To just kind of give an example here, I don't know if many of you guys know this or not, but I actually had received a mission call for my church. So many of you guys know I'm Mormon, LDS, kind of the same thing, Mormons, LDS. And so Mormons, when they are 19, early 20s for the girls, they have the opportunity to serve a mission and get called to a certain area, and they serve for a year and a half, 2 years, and they proselyte for the church. And when I was 21, I got a calling to go to Argentina. And as soon as you get a calling, I don't know if many of you guys have served a church, because I know some of you guys are LDS like me, but if any of you guys have ever done that, it is like a big growth accelerated path, right? Where very quickly you realize a lot of things that you've got to work on and that you get to work through. And it felt like, the moment I got that calling, that, I knew the things I needed to work on. You know what? I couldn't handle it. And it was too much for me to say, I can't deal with this. And I know if I had gone on that mission, it would have been such a good thing for me. There would have been several experiences where I would have been able to work through limiting beliefs that I had, and things about myself, that I could clear. But I couldn't handle it. And so, the week before I was supposed to report for my mission, I said I'm not going. So I didn't go. And I said I can't handle it, I'm done. And I also did the same thing when it came to college. College is a huge accelerated growth plan. Like, you have to learn about deadlines, you have to learn about, being self-dedicated and disciplined and not procrastinating. You have to learn how to, just so many things you have to work on that are brought to the surface so that you can deal with it and develop good, healthy habits. And it was not something I could handle when I was in my early 20s, so I did not graduate from college. And I tried twice. Well, got kicked out, went back, got kicked out again. So I understand if someone feels, you know what, I can't handle this. I can't handle this accelerated growth plan. It's too much for me. I can respect that, because I know that there was a time in my life that I couldn't handle certain accelerated growth plans either. But because of those experiences of me giving up on things, real estate would be another one. I used to do real estate and I was horrible at it. And I didn't sell anything. I didn't have a single client or customer for an entire year. And that was me working as a real estate agent for an entire year. And I had nobody who wanted to hire me as their real estate agent. And what did I learn from that? I learned that, there's a lot of things I wasn't willing to face. And so when Beachbody came along, I said, I'm done. I'm done walking away when things got hard and saying, you know what, this must not be for me because it's hard. Instead saying, what's the lesson here? What is this bringing to my attention that is holding me back, and not just from the success and the goals that I'm setting in my business, but in life? Because they're not just holding me back as a Beachbody coach, or as a college student, or as a missionary for my church, or as a real estate agent. It's holding me back from happiness and from my highest potential, period. And so why don't I address this and work through it, and in the process become the person who is capable of reaching the goals that I'm setting for myself? Because it's not really about the accomplishment of diamond or star diamond or 15 star diamond. It's who you become in the process. And so I encourage you guys, you set goals, and you set multiple goals, and you get comfortable living uncomfortable. Because the more uncomfortable you are, that means that you are on the right path, and you are stretching yourself, and you are pushing yourself, and you're not just saying, you know what, I'm gonna let go of this rubber band, I'm letting go of this goal because it's too uncomfortable for me, because I have done that. And please learn from my experience, that doesn't bring happiness. Yes, in the process of releasing a goal, you are gonna feel relief, because that goal created tension, right? It created that tension of a rubber band, and it's being pulled, stretched tight. And if you let that go, yeah, you're gonna have a weight lifted from your shoulders. And unfortunately, I get many people who will say, you know what, as soon as I decided to quit on Beachbody and be done, I felt a weight lifted from my shoulders, and they think that that's a sign that they made the right decision. And maybe it was. But I want to suggest that maybe that was just the fact that you gave up on a goal. And so now you let go of that rubber band, instead of saying, you know what, I'm not supposed to be complacent. I'm not supposed to be comfortable with where I'm at, because I'm living beneath myself. I know I'm capable of so much more. So I shouldn't be comfortable where I'm at. I should be constantly pushing myself to see who I really am, who God really created me to be, because I'm not living up to that. So you should constantly be uncomfortable with this, and you embrace every single struggle that's coming your way, every single obstacle coming your way, because it's holding you back from your Beachbody goals, but it's also holding you back from every single potential goal that you could set in your life. So face it and deal with it and clear it, so that you can move forward in your life. Because you can walk away from this, I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna feel the same obstacles, the same things coming up in your life, no matter what you do. You could go sell leggings, you can go sell makeup, and you're gonna deal with the exact same crap you're dealing with in this business, because that's your personal journey and personal things that you need to clear to reach your highest potential. Okay? So anyways, those are my thoughts. This is everything that I wanted to say. Thank you for tuning in. I really hope that, everyone watches this, if they ever have those concerns or doubts, or they're thinking, boy, I don't think this is for me, or Beachbody is just too hard, it's just not meant to be. And I just want to tell you, that's not the truth. And it's a matter of you clearing the things that are holding you back, so that you can be your best. So I'm rooting for you. I believe in you. You were brought to do this for a reason, and you get to believe that, and always, always, always remember it. Thanks, guys.